So Rosemary, do you have a special message for your children?
Yes, I think they should never forget where they came from. My mother only had a third grade education, and people thought she wasn't very smart, but she was, and she was the best mom. I mean, she collected for the March of Dimes, her $1.60 or whatever. We'd go with her, and she'd walk up and collect money, and always participated in the PTA meetings. And of course, we wanted her to sit our tables, 4 of us, in a row. So she had to run from table to table so we'd all get credit. And the rag drives they used to have, anything that they asked of her, my mom would do. And Mr. Lee, the principal at our grammar school, even wanted her to be PTA president, but she told him, well, I can't write, But he says, well, you don't have to write, you just have to get up and talk. We have a secretary for that. And, she just declined, but I know she could have done it. And one thing she wanted to do was get her high school diploma. And to this day, I regret not signing her up. She didn't get married till she was 36, and then started having kids at 37 and had 4 in a row. And, I wish I'd taken her to adult education just to get her high school diploma. That was really important to her. But she did get to see all the kids graduate, not the grandkids, but not my grandkids, her grandkids, but, I think she was real proud of that. She thought that was really, really important. And, I do have a picture of her, which I didn't bring. She was the tallest when she was 16 in the 3rd grade. And she was taller than the teacher, but she was really proud. She always wanted to go to school, even if it was just for a few months. So to me, education is really important. And I think we should not forget that no matter how poor you are, you can still go to school, you can go to college, you can dream, and you can still make do with everything. I mean, she said she didn't have a cookbook. She learned to make cookies for us and cakes for us just from her tortilla recipe. She'd add the bacon powder, and then she'd add some eggs, and somehow they always came out good, kind of like Girl Scout cooking. And we had walnut trees and almond trees, so she made sure she used that in her cakes and stuff. And,
so it sounds like, was she your hero?
Yes.
Yeah, it sounds like that. She sounds very inspirational.
Yes, she was.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. So going back to your kids, do you want to say anything to them about how you feel about them? As far as a message goes?
I think they should be close to family. We were very close when we were young. And my daughter's generation, once they go away to college, you just don't hear from them very often. I used to go every other weekend to see my grandkids, and then they had more activities and stuff. And as I got older, I got scared to drive that far, 3 hours to drive up there. And so I don't hear from them very often. And, it kind of makes me sad, It's not like it used to be. We made sure we went to Grandma's house no matter what. Every Sunday we went to church in the morning, Grandma's house in the afternoon. Right. And that went on even after I had my daughter. I still went. That was really important to me. And once my grandmother died, it's just kind of family just kind of stopped getting together anymore. So
right.
There's a lot of people we don't see. All my father's family is gone. There's 14 kids, and then my mom's, there's 2 left. So, the cousins that we were very close to are all spread out, so we don't see them very often. Actually, some of them have died also, but, it's just like there's a loss. You have to now depend on your friends as family because, kids move away, and I guess they have their own lives, which they're entitled to. It's just the old Hispanic tradition is you move closer to your parents. We all lived close to my grandma, and we went there every Sunday no matter what. So Christmas, Thanksgiving, Christmas tamales, it was, just always, to grandma's house. And I miss that for my kids, we just didn't do that. My daughter got to see a little bit of it, but my son, none of it. And, his cousins, they've all moved to different places, so he doesn't have, maybe 3 close cousins that he sees on a regular basis. And I'm sad for that, our family was huge, so it just kind of makes me, you got to keep family close, even if it's by letter or Christmas letter or whatever, but, just kind of keep them close. And never forget where you came from. I know my daughter told me once, I'm never coming back to this neighborhood. And I thought, that's really sad. My mom and dad bought their first house there. I bought the house next to them and lived there. I still am there, and I will be there till I die, you know, and I think that's important, you know. Maybe she doesn't feel safe there or whatever, but she should never forget that, you know, as poor as we were, she was able to go to college, you know, fully paid for by me.
Right.
And she didn't have to worry about that. We got out with the 2 degrees and not owing not one penny. So
that's
hopefully
great that
she'll
you could give
remember
that to
that.
her. Yeah, sure. So you wanted to talk about special events. Is there an event that stands out in your mind?
Well, the birth of my children is both. I mean, having my daughter, I remember I just started shivering and shaking. I made this baby, you know, they put her on my chest and I was just, you know, I couldn't stop shaking. They go, "Are you cold?" I go, "No, I don't know why I'm shaking." You know, it was just such an amazing, you know, thing. And my children are 20 years apart, and when I had my son, same thing, you know, they're just a joy, you know. And I did get to enjoy my son for 5 months. I got to stay home with him. My daughter went to work after 3 weeks. And, you know, I got to see a lot of his first with my daughter. I did, but I had a really good babysitter. She would tell me, "Oh, today Suzanne did this, today Suzanne did that," but it's just something I really missed, you know. So I'm glad my daughter got to stay home for 14 years with her children. So I think that's really exciting, you know. But yeah, it's the one thing I regret is not being there for at least the first year, you know, seeing all the firsts. But,
and so, do you have anything else that you might want to say before we end?
No, I really enjoyed the class and made me think about a lot of things, a lot of the subjects like music and art and stuff that I never really thought about. It just was there, you know, and I had to really think about it. And so I really enjoyed that part of it. And I'm not a writer. I have a terrible time writing, but you know, it was good for me. Once I heard what other people said, I said, well, I could write something about that too. So I'm kind of behind the class, you know, because I'm writing after I go to class. Yeah.
That's perfect, though. That's fine. Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks.
Thank you.
Sure. Okay.